So today I'd like to take you on a journey that will show you that innovation and entrepreneurship are alive and well in the Rockford region. We need to start with and keep in mind that innovation creates wealth, entrepreneurship delivers wealth, and wealthy businesses create jobs. So how does Eiger Lab fit in this discussion? Eiger Lab's mission is to support innovation, entrepreneurship, and commercialization that ultimately creates wealth and jobs in the community. We're a business incubator that offers flexible space at reasonable rates. We're the facility that houses most of the region's business support programs, and we also run the local fast pitch competition. For the last 6 years, this competition has grown in both size and scope. Fast Pitch was designed to celebrate and support entrepreneurs and inventors of all types. And we have hosted over 300 participants since our beginning, with investors, bankers, community leaders, and successful entrepreneurs volunteering to judge, coach, and network during a day-long event. So as you can see, Eiger Lab really is all about innovation and entrepreneurship. Let me show you what that means for Rockford. Pablo says to tell a story. So I'd like to tell you about Lions Consulting, a Chicago-based e-commerce business. They found us 20 months ago when one of the partners who grew up in the neighborhood stopped in for a tour. At the time, Lions had backroom offices in Kiev. They wanted to find a U.S. location with more reasonable efficiencies. We introduced them to Rock Valley College instructors, and after starting with 3 employees, they have recruited and hired a total of 26 new IT employees and are currently considering more additions. They're creating good-paying primary jobs located at the Eiger Lab. Do you know about Comply 365? A software company that builds and sells compliance programs to a variety of industries, including aerospace. We were introduced to them 5 years ago. Since then, they've added 15 new jobs and are poised to double their total employment in 2013 at their new facility. Comply participated and was a finalist in our fast pitch competition. That's how we found them. And they continue to utilize our services. As a result, we have helped them identify both investors and new employees, again, creating wealth and jobs for the community. Have you heard of BE Aerospace, a manufacturer of high-speed vacuum flush toilets for the aerospace business? They came to Eiger Lab because they could start their business by renting reasonable space that included furniture, broadband internet, and flexibility. They could expand or contract without penalty. And they also wanted to utilize our Center for Product Development. As a result, Eiger Lab helped to reduce their overall product development time from an original estimate of 20 months down to 8 months. And they have grown from 2 employees to 70 employees in 4 years. BE relocated from Eiger this summer to a new facility south of the airport. That's the poster child on how Eiger Lab supports innovation, entrepreneurship, and job creation. As I just said, Eiger Lab houses our Center for Product Development, a facility that assists in the design, prototyping, and analysis of new products by utilizing state-of-the-art 3D printing. So what is 3D printing? What is rapid prototyping? It's a process, a state-of-the-art process that allows us to take flat drawings, transform them into 3-dimensional designs, and then actually print a physical product using polymers, resins, and sometimes metals. Think of a dot matrix printer. 3D printers lay down multiple thin layers of material to build a finished product. No assembly required. Where there's airspace, we don't program any hardening materials. So, as an example, this bicycle chain comes out of the machine as a finished product. We rinse it, blow it off, and it's done. So imagine the possibilities. Imagine if we could combine the technical world of the engineer with the creative talents of an artist. A technical center for the arts to create innovative new ways to produce products and artistic pieces. That day is today at Eiger Lab. Take a look. This is a statue of President Lincoln reading a book to a child. We made a prototype called a positive for a local foundry client. We first made it in pieces and then built the larger positive. They cast the final bronze statue from the mold. This detailed statue currently sits in the Freeport Library. This dragon was originally made from elements found in nature, including pea pods, leaves, and cotton petals. To create a piece of art which we scanned with a high-resolution 3D scanner, we then created a prototype model that the artist painted to create the final work. This piece will soon be part of art shows in both New York City and Seoul, Korea. And this came directly from our prototyping machines. This is a model of Michelangelo's David. The project was commissioned by the Casa Buonarroti Museum in Florence, Italy, which houses many of Michelangelo's works. The Bossetti originals were made in 1550 of wax and horsehair, and they're deteriorating and being lost in time. The museum commissioned 8 sets to be built, one for the museum, one for the owner, and the rest to be sold for museum income. Our client, Art Casting of Illinois, scanned the piece, we printed the positive, and they then built the final pieces in bronze. These Bossettis are the world's only certified authorized replicas of the Michelangelo Bossetti series, and Eiger Lab was instrumental to that project's success. This is a White House chandelier. There are several of these placed around the White House. An earlier president removed a chandelier from one room and replaced it during a remodel. Other rooms still have the originals. At the most recent remodel, the White House chose to put this room back to its original state, but could not find the original chandelier. Eiger Lab prototyped all of the chandelier components in order to build this replica. Art meets technology. Now imagine if we could take an inventor's sketch or a drawing on a napkin, turn that drawing into a 3D computer design, then build the product in 24 to 48 hours. That day is today at Eiger Lab. Let me show you. Prescient Auto is currently incubating at Eiger Lab. Their new speaker design is considered disruptive technology that could transform the industry. These speakers no longer use traditional magnet technology, yet still produce higher quality bass tones than existing products in a much smaller space. They fit under furniture, in car doors, between studs, and can even be small enough for laptops and smartphones. Prescient is working with Eiger on design improvements and with our commercialization coaches to develop and protect the technology, research licensing opportunities, prepare investor presentations, and identify local supply chain partners who can manufacture the end product, all in Rockford, Illinois. A local manufacturer developed a new use for a rust inhibitor technology. They originally designed a plug that could be placed in shotguns to prevent barrel rust. Remington showed extreme interest in the concept. He came in on a Tuesday, we delivered a prototype on Wednesday, he presented to Remington on Thursday, and got an order on Friday for 30,000 units. He then went to Snap-on and presented the same technology for use in toolboxes. We created 200 prototypes for Snap-on testing. The product is now included in all Snap-on toolboxes that are sold. And here's an interesting add-on story. A local wealthy businessman was at a shooting event with an Army general. He took the rust plug out of his barrel. The Army general noticed, asked about it, and then envisioned a new use for the product in the barrels of tanks. As a result, this innovation is now being used by our military. New markets, new revenues, new jobs. A local inventor had an idea for a new funnel that could be used to recycle oil in gallon jugs without getting your hands dirty. He actually participated in 2 of our early fast pitch competitions without winning. Except he honed his pitch, got feedback on his product, met key supporters, and eventually used our Center for Product Development to prototype, then build the product. He currently has product on the shelves in several farm and fleet stores in the region. So, a fast pitch success story. Concepts to products at Eiger Lab. Now imagine if we could work with existing corporate engineering departments and innovators to significantly reduce product development time and cost by 50, 60, 70% or more. That day is today at Eiger Lab. Let me show you some stories. This is a highly detailed Victorian building built for a third-party vendor representing Disney. If you look closely, you can see column lines, individual bricks, and soffit detail. It will most likely be used for an animation film or as a model for a future building. This is a tabletop replica of a large community complex. The full project was mounted to 6 tabletops with break-apart replicas of buildings, room by room, wall by wall, floor by floor, including vehicles, trees, streetlights, down to the most minute detail. This is a spindle redesign for a local milling machine company, produced layer by layer in a single build. Even in this prototype stage, it is functional and could be installed and used on a machine. This wind turbine was designed and built for residential and light commercial use. We assisted in the prototyping and development of the blades, which are aesthetically pleasing to the eye and work with the wind blowing from any direction. This one is hard to visualize. So this is a hypodermic needle positioned next to a penny to show scale. The end of the needle was welded shut, and precision holes were drilled with micro machines in order to concentrate treatment directly to the bad cells for liver cancer. The holes pictured are the width of 3 human hairs. This equipment is so precise, it can actually write your name on a human hair. These are all innovations that represent new revenue streams and new jobs, and they were all printed at Eiger. Pretty amazing stuff. So let's dream for a moment. What if? What if Eiger Lab could assist in medical innovations for new surgical devices, processes, or procedures? And what if we could print knees, bones, and teeth by scanning your body and then create custom replacements? Or if we could print human organs? Knee and hip replacements are already being printed and in use. Skin is actually being duplicated in a research lab today, and a bird heart has been printed that beats when electronically stimulated. Eiger Lab is in conversation with simulation centers and medical labs to enter this business. What if Eiger Lab built a nationwide commercialization center for consumer goods and manufactured products and held a competition and invited 10 targeted finalists to attend commercialization boot camps? What if we then recruited and invested in the best of the best to develop new Rockford employers? We're currently in conversation with private investors to develop a seed fund that could support this program. People in the region are interested in this dream. What if you could print Legos or household items or lawnmower parts, all without leaving your house? Print the part and print the tool to fix the problem. The U.S. already has used this concept in our space program, and as the cost of printers and advanced materials comes down, it is projected that 3D printers will become as commonplace as televisions in our homes. Can you see it? And finally, what if we expanded our current Eiger Lab assets and knowledge, and the community came together to build a multidiscipline international design center in downtown Rockford, mixing the creative with the techie? Product design, graphic design, artistic design, fashion design, gaming. And what if we drew hundreds of students from around the world, and Eiger Lab became a cornerstone for community revitalization? Imagine the possibilities. Just imagine. I'd like to close with a true story, an emotional story, an amazing story. A surgeon in Wisconsin met with a family who had a 9-year-old child with a malignant brain tumor. After tests, the doctor felt surgery to remove the tumor was too risky and therefore inoperable with less than a 20% chance for success. He then learned of 3D printing and researched whether a detailed model of the child's brain could be printed using an MRI. A Wisconsin prototyping house agreed to build the model. He practiced the surgery technique to increase his odds. He called the parents, scheduled and performed the surgery, and today there's a healthy teenager and grateful parents running through the woods of Wisconsin. That's our future. 3D printing, electronic scanning, rapid prototyping, micromachining, computer design, innovation, entrepreneurship, technology, art, that's the future. That is Eiger, and that future is now. Thank you.